Proverbs 16:18-19. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It is better to be of lowly spirit with the poor than to divide the soil with the proud. Now, this brings a very stark realization that most people don't realize, I think, at first. And also, this may seem contradictory at first, but I will explain it. So, this is giving kind of the explanation that pride is one of the biggest sins. It is the biggest sin. And while all sins are weighed the same, in judgment, it is a big sin because it is the root of all evil, really. Like, the title of this video is All of Your Problems Are Because of One. Like, the title's still a work in progress, but the gist is all of your problems have a common denominator, right? And like, that denominator is pride. When you let it sit, when you let it manifest, it causes all of these different sins, all of these different problems in your life because you're thinking about the wrong things and you're doing the wrong things. So why is pride? Why is it pride? What is so special about that makes it so susceptible and able to be applied to every different thing that you do that can be considered wrong? And that is because of self-esteem, because of your own thoughts, and because of the fact that, especially when you're prideful of yourself, you start putting yourself before others, start putting your own needs before others, and it takes away all of the joys of life, and it takes away all of the pleasure of having relationships with people because they're just now obstacles in your way of what you're trying to get to. So people will become obsolete, and relationships are I think the most important part of life, and they're definitely the most fun. Like, interacting with other people is a very important part of life that you need to have, because humans, we are social creatures, and we just need that connection from other people. And because other people are so as complicated as us, it's so interesting, and we need that connection. We need that entertainment. We need just other people. So, what I'm going to say right now is that you need to think of what you're putting up high. Like, what are your idols, right? My idols that I put are my pride and my self-control and discipline, my pride and my diet, which, again, this all goes to self-control, but my pride in my diet, my ability to go to the gym every day that I need to go, right? And it just comes down to all of these different things, and it puts me in a place where I think I'm pretty high. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to demand respect for yourself or just demand respect in general, but it is wrong to start coming down on others because they threaten you. Yes, it is good to kind of put someone in their place, right? Like, if someone comes at you and disrespects you, you have to put them in their place, and to make sure that they see you the way that you need to be seen. One, to deal with the problem, and two, so you can actually be put in the right spot in the social hierarchy, right? But also, you need to be patient and gentle with people. That is what love is. It is patient, it is gentle, it is kind, it does not boast, and it does not have envy. So what you need to do is, if someone's not listening to you or not doing the right thing, just be gentle and explain it to them. There's a lot of times where if someone does something wrong, it might even be against you, and you instantly flip into that disrespect because they're threatening you and your pride and your self-image and self-esteem, where you flip into that disrespect because it feels like a threat to you. That is when all you're doing is escalating the problem to become greater. And what you need to do is actually look at yourself first, and then flip the script onto the others around you, so that by the end of it, like, you can see that you have your own problems. And when you kind of put that lens on the other people. Like, I know I have pride on this, so I flip the script and I put it to other people. Like, I know I'm prideful about this, so I want you to actually talk about it, notice it, call me out on it. Not so I can lose self-esteem, but so I can reassure myself and become even better, right? That's the kind of mindset that you need to have, especially with conflicts. So it's just like self-control and not lashing out at those who have wronged you actually makes you even better. So then you actually should demand more respect because you have earned that respect. And that's the whole thing. Especially now with people's inflated egos, there is no real way to like demand a certain level of respect and demand a certain level of obedience, I guess, because all these people think that they're the best person that's ever been born, right? So then there isn't a proper hierarchy anymore where the idiots and the people that don't listen are put at the bottom, so they figure it out and they get out and listen, right? And I think that is a huge problem. That is a topic for a different video. So you need to actually look inwards, work on yourself, make sure that you don't fall into these traps, because that's what they are. As soon as someone nags at you, because most people will see, because honestly, most people boast. That is another thing that you just shouldn't do, and just don't boast. But most people know what boasting is, right? It's bragging. But honestly, no one does that really, because we're smart enough to realize that it makes others think of us less, when the whole point of boasting is to think of us higher, like think of us more. So we will like pick out things. This is what I do, because I do all of these things, and when someone picks out the one thing that I've done wrong, I'm like, are you picking out that when I've done this, this, and this, and this, right? It's a form of boasting, but in a way where you're also kind of being the victim, because now there's a kind of like, when you're the victim, you're seen as better in the society. So a lot of people want to play the victim card just to show that like they boast in their hardships, to show that like they had the hardest life, which again I don't understand, but that's the way it works. Grind like a man, become a legend.